Okay, I'm excited for this one. We're gonna turn this, a Raspberry Pi, a credit card sized computer, into a NAS, a network attached storage device. What? Yes. I actually needed a small NAS to take with me on my family road trip, and the Raspberry Pi, it's perfect. And shout out to Bitdefender Total Security for sponsoring this video. If you don't want to get hacked, they are what I recommend you use to protect yourself. We'll talk more about them here later in the video. So this will be my travel NAS, something that can hold a ton of movies and Plex media server, and also be a place where I can offload my vlog footage from my camera and sync back to my house, which this will do all of that. It's amazing. So get your coffee ready. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a Raspberry Pi NAS. A NAS that you can take with you as you travel, or it could be your main NAS at your house. And I know what you're thinking, do I actually need a NAS? Yes, you need a NAS. This video will have two parts. Part number one, setting up your Raspberry Pi as a NAS. I'll walk you through every step. Part number two, I'll walk you through how to set up a Plex media server on that same Raspberry Pi, which is awesome. So now that begs the question, what do you need to do this? I do recommend you getting a Raspberry Pi 4, and the more RAM the better, so 4 or 8 gigs of RAM. Like all Raspberry Pi projects, you'll need the essentials like a power adapter, SD card reader, and a case, which is optional, but that's what you need. I've got links below for a kit that includes all of this, and then finally, you'll need some sort of USB hard drive. For this, it could be anything. It could be one of these massive Seagate hard drives, or it could be a small T5 Samsung SSD, which I do recommend these, they're wicked fast. And last but certainly not least, you're gonna need some coffee. NetworkChuck.coffee. Now, if you wanna go crazy, like me, you can get this really cool kit from Geekwork. It comes with a Raspberry Pi hat that'll let you install an internal SATA hard drive and then put it into a nice little case. It's awesome, so if you wanna do that, buy that. But as far as following along in this video, it's the same instructions whether you're using an external hard drive or you're buying that Geekworm kit. Anyways, enough of theory and talking. Get your coffee ready. Oh, and also, in case you're wondering what's a NAS and why do I need one, I already answered that question in this video wherever it is up here. And just so you know, normally getting a NAS, it's kind of pricey. It'll set you back a pretty penny, but dude, where'd my Raspberry Pi go? Raspberry Pi! Here he is. But this is relatively cheap and awesome and fun, so why not? So here we go, Raspberry Pi NAS right now. So step one, let's go ahead and bake our Pi or prepare our SD card and get the operating system on there. So what you'll do is get your micro SD card, plug that into your USB adapter, I have one right here, and then plug that into your computer. Bum, bada, bum. From here, we're gonna prep our SD card by using the Raspberry Pi Imager. It's everywhere, Windows, Mac, Linux, check the link below and download that sucker, and we'll go ahead and get started. So first we gotta choose our operating system. Go ahead and click on that, and from here we're gonna choose Raspberry Pi OS Other, and then we'll select the Raspberry Pi OS Lite, which basically means no desktop, no GUI, all we care about right now is having a command line. And then choose your storage. Click that and select your SD card that you just plugged in, and make sure you select that sucker and don't overwrite something important like your hard drive. And then here's a little hack that's so cool, I just found it. Hit Control-Shift-X on your keyboard, bam, what just happened? A little hidden shortcut that allows us to prep our operating system before we actually throw it into our Raspberry Pi. Things like, hey, I want to enable SSH, and we can set the password for the Pi user. So go ahead and select that. I'm gonna put the password in for my guy. Now you can also set up Wi-Fi, but I highly recommend you use Ethernet for this project. In fact, I tried to do Wi-Fi and something broke, it didn't work, so go hardwire on this one. Now that's all I care about. I'm gonna click save, and what this enables me to do is not have to plug it into a monitor and put a keyboard and mouse on this guy. It's gonna be a headless install, which means I plug it into my network, it comes up, and I can just simply access it. So once you change your settings, go ahead and click on Write, and it's going to format it. Yeah, I am sure. Let's do this. Here we go. Coffee break. Okay, my Pi is done baking, and we can pull that sucker out of the computer and get that in the Pi. So pull the micro SD card out, slide that into your Raspberry Pi, and now we're ready to boot the sucker up. Ethernet cable. Oh yeah, love that sound. And power. And that's it. He's booting up. Now we're gonna access and log into this Raspberry Pi via SSH. But to do that, we have to first know his IP address. But how do we find his IP address? Well, the easiest way is to check with your home router. Your home router will give out an IP address to your Raspberry Pi via DHCP. And if you log into it, just look at the last device that signed in and got an IP address. For me, I'm using Unify, and boom, I know this is the guy right here. And yeah, I do have a ton of Raspberry Pis, so leave me alone. So find that IP address, launch your command prompt or terminal, whatever OS you're using, and now to SSH into our Pi. The command will be SSH space Pi at the IP address of your Pi, 10.7.1.108 for me, and then hit enter. Yes, I accept it, type in yes, and then the password you set when you set up your Pi. If you did not do that, it'll be Raspberry, all lowercase, and bam, we are in. Quick coffee break just for fuel. Here we go. All right, first things first. We need to make sure this Raspberry Pi is up to date. So we're gonna do sudo apt update, and then do ampersand space sudo apt upgrade. This command is doing two things. First, we're updating all our repositories, and then we're actually installing all the available updates. If you want to learn more about how that works, check out my Linux series right here, somewhere over here. Anyways, let's keep going. So go ahead and hit enter, and this is gonna take a little bit, so coffee break. Yes, I want you to install everything, thank you. And mine is done. You'll know yours is done when you see the matrix stop scrolling, then you're good. Now to install our NAS software, to turn our Raspberry Pi into a NAS. The best solution I found for the Raspberry Pi is called OpenMediaVault. It's amazing, and we can install it with just one command. Check this out. By the way, I'll have all these commands below if you want to follow along, and copy and paste, because that's what I do. Anyways, here's our command. I'm gonna type in sudo, gonna paste it in there, and what we're doing here is using the wget command. We're downloading a script from GitHub. This is from OpenMediaVault, and then we're running that script using bash. And this script is gonna do a ton of things. This will actually take a bit of time, a super long coffee break. But anyways, all we have to do now is hit enter. It's so simple, man. Here we go. Now real quick, let's talk about cybersecurity. Why? Well, because you're about to install a Plex media server on your Raspberry Pi. And often when you're downloading movies, you might be downloading those movies from sites that maybe aren't the most secure, meaning you could end up downloading a virus, malware, ransomware, things that could brick your computer, things that could destroy your data. You gotta have something to protect yourself, and that's why I recommend Bitdefender Total Security. They are the sponsor of this video, and they legit are the most intense protection I've seen on a computer as far as antivirus. Which, if you want anything to be intense, you want your security to be intense.
Come quietly or there will be trouble.
Right? Yes, right. There are 3 reasons why I can recommend Bitdefender. The first and most obvious reason is their protection. Here in my total security dashboard, if I click on protection, I've got antivirus, advanced threat defense, online threat prevention, vulnerability scans, and something really cool that I love, ransomware remediation, which I don't have enabled. Hold on, let me click that. Okay. It reverses damage done by ransomware by restoring encrypted files. That's killer. Now what's cool is a lot of this protection right here involves scanning your network traffic. It's constantly looking at the things your computer is connecting to and things that are connecting to your computer and going, hey, is that good? If it's not, get out of here. It's also constantly checking the web pages you visit to see if they are dangerous, like phishing websites. Now Bitdefender does all of this without hurting your performance of your computer, which is the main reason people normally disable their antivirus, because it slows down their computer. You don't want that slowdown, so this will actually be fine for you. And the third, man, it has some cool privacy features. If I go over here and click on the privacy tab, they've got a lot of cool stuff here, but the thing I love the most is the video and audio protection. I mean, we're all paranoid, right? That our webcam might be a gateway to some hacker and you're always covering up with tape or something. Bitdefender protects against that. It doesn't let just random programs access your webcam and your microphone and stuff. So if you care about protection, performance, and privacy, which, I mean, why wouldn't you care about that? Then check out Bitdefender Total Security. So check my link below in the description. You'll get 5 devices for free for 120 days. So yeah, dude, just try it out, because it's no fun to get hacked. You want to be the one doing the hacking. You don't want to get hacked, so protect yourself. Okay, I think mine is done, and I say think because you may get disconnected from the Raspberry Pi as it's doing its thing. It also may change its IP address, so you may want to go back to your router and double check to see. And mine did change, actually. It was 108 before, now it's 111. So I'm gonna get logged back into it real quick. SSH Pi at that new IP address it just randomly got. That's it. OpenMediaVault is installed. Let's go log into it. So we're actually gonna go to the web GUI. So open up your favorite web browser and let's navigate to 10.7.1.111 for me, whatever it is for you. Aha. Look at this. Okay, let's get logged in. Default username is admin. Default password is OpenMediaVault. Yes. Woo! Here we go. We're in. Now yeah, there is a lot going on here. Don't worry, I'm gonna walk you through a few steps to get you up and running with your NAS. Step 1, let's change that default password. You wanna get hacked, do you? So on the left here, we'll click on General Settings, and then click on Web Administrator Password. And just type in that new password, click on Save, and it's gonna kick you out, I think. I don't know, we're good. Let me refresh the page real quick, reload. Oh yeah, we're solid, we're good. Password changed. Okay, next step, we are ready to plug in our USB external hard drive. So let's go ahead and do that. It's really that simple. Mine is coming up. And now let's make sure that the OpenMediaVault can actually see it. So under storage, we're gonna click on disks. Click on that, fingers crossed. Yeah, there mine is, awesome. So you should see something like this. You'll have your SD card that your OS is installed on, and then that USB hard drive that you plugged in, hopefully. Now you could get a massive SD card and simply run your NAS off of that. store everything on there. But it's gonna be more economical for you to have a USB hard drive. So now let's actually start using it. Few steps here. Now we're gonna navigate to file systems over here underneath storage. Go ahead and click on that. From here, select your USB hard drive, select, and then at the top, select mount. And boom, give it a second. It's thinking, it's doing stuff. Yeah. Notice when we did that, two things happen. First is like, hey, I can see things, it's mounted. Second, it's like, hey, do you wanna apply these changes? Not quite yet. We wanna make a few more changes, but just know that nothing will actually take place until we click apply. Next step, now that we have this file system mounted, we now need to create a shared folder, which will be right over here under Access Rights Management. Bam, there she is, shared folders. Go ahead and click on that, and here it should be blank, nothing there. Let's change that. Let's go ahead and click on add at the top left, kind of. Yeah, click on add. Couple of things. First, let's name our shared folder. I'll name mine Nasty. It's my NAS. Next, select device. Here I've got one choice, my USB hard drive, the one I just mounted. Path is already filled out for you based on the name you put in. Permissions. For most of us, whatever's already there by default is fine. And that's pretty much it. Go ahead and click on save. Boom. Now for me, it looks like I had a bit of trouble with permissions. I'm gonna go fix that right now actually. So if you got the same thing, let's cover it. So go ahead and click on OK. And here we can actually just close this out because it's already there. There it is. So let's fix our permissions. Go ahead and make sure you have Nasty selected, and then click on Privileges right here at the top. For our user Pi, I want to make sure he does have read-write access, so I'll go ahead and do that. I'll do it for his user and group just for fun, and click on Save. Cool, that's good. And at this point, I do want to go ahead and click on Apply because I'm getting nervous. I want to make sure my changes are actually going to take effect, so go ahead and click on Apply to have all these things do it. And yeah, I do really want to do it, so click on Yes, and quick coffee break. Good stuff. Okay, I think that means we're solid. Amazing, yes, okay. So at this point, our Raspberry Pi, it's a NAS, man. It's got some hard drive, it's got the share set up, but now we have to configure how we can actually access it, how we can use it. For this, we really have two options. Well, not only two, but the main two ways are through NFS or SMB. Those are services that we can enable right over here under, well, services. Now, which one should you enable? Well, SMB, it's gonna be Windows. That's what Windows uses as default for file sharing. And then for Linux, it's gonna use NFS. And this will also be Mac as well. Do both, you can do both, no worries. We're gonna do that right now. So first I'll click on SMB, go and click on that. And it's super easy to do this, stupid easy. Just click on that little dot or check bubble. Just click that, please. I don't know what to call it. And click on save. That was easy. And then one more thing, click on shares right here. And we'll need to add the share we already created. So just click on add and we'll select our shared folder we already have created. Nasty, there you are, buddy. We got some options down here, which you could very well change if you want to, like setting it to read only or enabling time machine support. You can always go back and change this. I'm just gonna click on save. Let's go ahead and do NFS as well. So under services, once more, click on NFS. That's a horrible arrow. What am I doing? Anyways, click on NFS. Same story here. Click on enable. Ooh, so hard. Click on save. And then under shares, click on that shares button right there. Let's go ahead and add him. We'll add Nasty. There you are, Nasty. And click on save. Again, we have some options you can always go back and change. We'll click on save just for fun right now. And then finally, to make sure all these changes take effect, the very top right, we're gonna click on apply to make sure this stuff does its thing. So click on apply. Yep. And coffee break, fingers crossed. Oh no, I cursed it. I got an error. What's going on? Looks like it's NFS related. Now, I'm not sure right now what's going on. I'll just click on OK. And I'm gonna try it one more time just to see what happens. Yeah, let's give it one more chance here. Same issue, time to troubleshoot. Okay, I found the solution. So for those of you who want to use NFS, you gotta do this. This basically involves deleting and reformatting your hard drive. So if you have anything on there you wanna keep, yeah, you're gonna lose it. Anyways, so what I did is I first stopped my SMB service. I then deleted my shared folder, so it's not here anymore, so it's gone. And then under file systems, what you don't see anymore is my USB flash drive, because my hard drive, because when I selected it, I selected unmount and it unmounted it. And then finally, I went over to disks, I selected this bad boy, and I said wipe, which erases everything. So now we're at the point where I can go over here to file systems and create a new file share. Click on create here at the top right and select our device, which is right there, my Samsung there. I'll label it my drive. In file system, ext4 is what we want. Click on OK. And it's gonna delete everything, create a new partition for us. And this should solve any issues with NFS. Again, if you didn't have that issue, you could have just skipped ahead. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and re-enable NFS and SMB and see if this works, using the exact same steps as we previously went through. Anyways, Coffee break while this does its thing. All right, cool. My file system is ready. Didn't take too long. Go ahead and click on close. Pretty much the same steps as before. I'll click on him to mount him. He has been mounted. Okay, next. And I'm gonna blow through this, by the way, because we've already done it. Shared folder, create a shared folder. Privileges, I'll give my Pi guy the rights. Save. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this just to make sure it all works well. And then we'll do SMB and NFS and see if we get the error message, which I hope we don't. And then very quickly, the same steps as before. Enable SMB, add the share, enable NFS, add the share. And now let's click on apply and dang, fingers crossed. Yes. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No error message. Yes. Oh, problem solved. Easy enough. Here we go. So now let's just make sure this thing works. So I'm gonna actually connect to the share in Windows. So here in Windows, I'm gonna launch my File Explorer, go over here to this PC and just right click here and click on add a network location. Click on next, next, and then right here, 2 backslashes, 10.7.1.111, my Raspberry Pi IP, and then the name of my share, which was nasty. Here we go, prompting me for a login. Put in Pi and then the password for Pi. Huh, didn't like that. Let's go take a look at our users real quick. So scrolling on the left here, under Access Rights Management, I'm gonna click on User. And there's Mr. Pi, but he's not working. So let's go ahead and edit him real quick. I'm gonna select Mr. Pi, select and edit. And I'm just gonna change his password. So I'll put his new password in here. I guess I assumed it would use the same login as the system. Maybe it doesn't. I'll click on Save. Interesting error. Try it again. Okay, cool. That worked. Apply. Okay, cool. We successfully changed the password of Mr. Pi here. Let's get back to our file share, enter that same password in once more. And this should work now. Yes, okay. I wanna name this Nasty, and it's done. So now if I look in my File Explorer, there he is. Click on him, that's my Raspberry Pi. That's the NAS. I can just drag crap over there. Like, let me just find something real quick. I'll just drag the Raspberry Pi image or download from earlier, which I'll just copy that. Jump into Nasty and paste. Boom. Let's get a larger file. I wanna see how the transfer is. Maybe like a video. Yeah, let's throw a video in there. Let's paste that video. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Now that's pretty much it. My Raspberry Pi NAS is ready. He's done. OpenMediaVault installed. I got my share. I can access it remotely. That's amazing. Now, I didn't cover how to set up a NFS share on Linux or a Mac. I'll leave a link below on how to do that. And of course, OpenMediaVault has a ton of other stuff. Like, look here. I mean, you can do some things like rsync, FTP. You can install plugins. Add some extra functionality to your OpenMediaVault. But that's for you to play with, tinker, and figure out. We're gonna move on to talking about Plex. Let's install Plex on this same NAS so we can watch stuff, so I can watch stuff and my kids can watch things and not drive me crazy on my road trip. Let's do that right now. And actually, it's not too bad at all. It's really easy. Watch this. Here we go. So first, we're gonna relaunch our terminal and get logged back into our Raspberry Pi. SSH Pi at our Pi's IP address, 10.7.1.111 for me now. And come on, jump in there. And I'm in. Here we go. Now this will involve a few steps. I'll have all the commands below, so make sure you check that out, copy and paste as we go along, or you can type it in. That's good muscle memory for typing stuff in the terminal. But anyways, here we go. First command, sudo apt. We're gonna install something. Install, and this package is called apt-transport-https. Go ahead and hit enter once you have that typed in or pasted in. Quick coffee break, not too long though. And it's already done. Cool, next up. Now the next few steps involve us getting Plex installed, and that involves us getting the repositories added to our Raspberry Pi here. Again, if you want to learn more about repositories and apt and installing stuff on Linux, check out the video up here somewhere, or the series. I covered the whole thing. But we have to add the Plex repository to our Raspberry Pi so we can reach out to it and download Plex. Let's go ahead and do that. First, we're going to start with adding the keys to make sure we're actually going to the right place and it's verified. So go ahead and paste this command, copy and paste. It's curling out to Plex. Done. And then we'll paste the next command. This command will actually add the Plex repositories to our repository list. Done. And now that we've added this new repository to our list of repositories, we need to update our list of available packages. So we'll do the command sudo apt update. That's simple. Hit enter. And quick coffee break. And now, for our final step, we're going to install Plex. Here we go. Sudo apt install Plex Media Server, all one word. And if you're wondering what Plex is, it's amazing. It's like Netflix that you had yourself, you host it. Oh, so cool. Anyways, that's our command. Go ahead and hit enter and relax. And at about 40% you get a question. Just go ahead and type in N for no, this is fine. And then let it keep going. And mine is ready. I love seeing this. Installation successful, errors, 0. Oh, isn't that the most, it's just the best feeling in the world. Anyways, what do we do now? Now, we just go access Plex. And how do we do that? Let's launch our web browser real quick. It has a beautiful, now, when you see something like this in OpenMediaVault, don't worry, it just means you got logged out, session expired. It feels very scary. Anyways, open up a new tab. We'll navigate out to 10.7.1.111. This is the IP address of your Raspberry Pi. We'll do :32400. This is the port that Plex uses. And then /web. Hit enter. Yes! Look, there it goes! Plex on our Raspberry Pi. That's already a NAS. Okay, now you will need a free Plex account. No big deal. I already have one, so I'm going to sign in. And it's going to sit here for a bit. Don't worry. It will get to a menu here in a second. It's going to walk us through the setup. Okay, here we go. I'm going to click on got it, because I got it. It's going to ask you to pay. You don't have to, so just click on X. Let's name your Pi. I'll name mine Nasty. Actually, lowercase nasty's better. There we go. I don't want to access outside my house, so I'll uncheck that. Click on Next, and then you select your library. And we'll click on Add Library. I'm going to select Movies. I'll name it Movies, that's fine. And then I'll browse for my media folder. This is actually going to scan the drives in your Raspberry Pi NAS, so let's do that. Browse for media folder. Now actually, real quick, before I do this, I'm going to click Cancel. I want to make sure I have a folder. So I'm going to jump back into my Windows Explorer here, jump into Nasty, create a new folder, name it Videos, or actually I'll name it Movies. And I'll put my one video I downloaded inside there. Perfect. Now let's find it. Let's scroll down, and there he is. There's Nasty. Hey, buddy. And let's scroll to the top here. There it is, Movies. And I'll just click on Add to add that folder. And then click on Add Library. I could add more here if I want to, but for now, that's all I care about. I'll click on Next, and done. So now let's see if it worked. Over here on the left, I've got my Movies folder on my Nasty Pi. Let's click on that. There's my one video. Let's play that. You need to learn Python right now. Hold up. Why? Why do you need to learn Python? You do. Do you realize what just happened here? Oh my gosh. Raspberry Pi with a NAS on it. It's a network attached storage. Whew. That's already cool, right? But then we also installed Plex Media Server. So now, I can watch it on my phone. Check this out. I have the Plex app on my phone, which is also free. And then right here, watching it off of Mr. Nasty here. Right now. How cool is that? Now real quick, if you do want to go crazy, let's talk about that. I'm gonna make mine go crazy real quick. Okay, I'm gonna go crazy. Ready? 1, 2, 3, boom. I hope that worked out. My Raspberry Pi NAS got an upgrade. Now this is the case and the SATA hat from Geekworm. Super cool. Inside this, I've got an internal 2 terabyte SSD. It's got a nice power button. It just looks slick, built like a tank. This thing's awesome. Now again, if you do want to go crazy like this, the instructions are the same. In fact, that same Raspberry Pi I was demoing with, I just took it, threw it in here, attached the drive, and it just showed up in OpenMediaVault. So, same thing. It's awesome. It's easy. Now, I'm not going to show you how to put this all together. There's a great video from Geekworm, so all the links are below. The link to how to build this and the parts and everything, all below. But yeah, this little tiny package is running a NAS and Plex. It's just a Raspberry Pi, but it's so cool. But yeah, that's all I got. I can't wait to take this on the road and see how it performs. This will be my NAS away from home on the road. This will be my Plex media server for my kids in the car. And I will have my files syncing back and forth between my massive NAS, my big NAS here at home. Oh, and by the way, have you hacked the YouTube algorithm today? Well, let's make sure you do. Hit that like button, notification bell, comment, subscribe, yeah, all that stuff. Hack YouTube today. Ethically, of course. And of course, let me know what you think of the video in the comments below. Let me know if you do this. It could be, crazy like this, or it could be as simple as just having a Raspberry Pi and a hard drive, an external hard drive, which totally works. Yeah, I'm 3 cups of coffee in today. I'm gonna have more. But yeah, that's honestly all I have. I'll catch you guys next time.